All right. Assalamu alaikum, Gambia, friends of the Gambia. I'll be condong, I'll told and I'll condong. In Sibito, June 22nd, 2024. And time ojang, it is 10 minutes past 11. Coming na topico ya safe nyamindro. Free lectures to the Gambia Police Force, especially or primarily the Gambia Paramilitary officers. Milia alonko ibe fanol kono. The use of force continuum. Ika symbol mil use puru kela doku oke ning ayatara ning unarmed citizen solbe doku nyingega. Nga try bake puru ka dunno. But the internet on I bata ku back wale akende I had to go and buy a lot more credit. Internet o katare yale in the Gambia ila suo kono jam bari jama abuka nafaso. This brings to mind that coming ko taxation without representation wala benyim banko ka meaning ko bankola telecommunication system onying amam betea aka kendi ko customer sol milia lonko these telecom companies are providing services, so they are exploitational. Eke exploit le meaning you pay more money without getting the service that you are they are providing for you. That is corruption. That is not good. That is fraud. That is being like a con artist. There is no customer service in the Gambia here. You know? This is why you keep paying internet worth of somebody's life saving me alongo. It can get them a bag of rice. Because internet from month to month, it's like over $2,500. So meaning ko ite mari near wo jo that internet is just like slow like crazy. That's not good. And in the Gambia here puru molieta restitution mi kabojang ka foye ko na internet woman better. So now I need to have extended weeks milia long lungol milia long ko aman sambano. So you cannot have internet in your house, me along a therefore you have to buy additional data. That's not correct. This is all the more reason. It is affecting so many other people in the Gambia. Because of these internet providers are exploitational. And these are some of the things that is affecting the country. Banko titano la nyato ning ayatara imam proper internet function. Correct internet imasoto ji. How can you relate that country to other viable and innovative countries in the world? Atekenola ando nyullel mu balafa dati na banko kanjang. For some people who are very economical in telling the truth, they think that this is okay. But this is not okay in a country like this. It means that Gambia is failing and it is failing very fast. Because near Jube, hani nawek electricity by generation of milk. Since 1965 nawek. Ila doku nyinga mankita back. Ila dokuo nyinga mam betea. Ila dokuo, in fact, NAWEC is the most useless institution in this Gambian country with all the institutions in here. Ebuka geodila, ebuka kurango dealer, and again, you keep paying bills over and over without them providing you what you have consumed. Nyembanko mu banku timia lonko. They are exploiting poor people. And the woman better. These are the things, Milia Lonko. That's why when I heard that NAWEC a salary talakam for 5%, you know, in fact 5% I see that as very womu kundingolet. They should cut NAWEC salary by 50%. Ntedama. Because NAWEC is the most useless institution. Since 1965, Gambia ya fansoto. Kajubeko, a transformation from MSG, UHC, Utility Holding Corporation, Management Service Gambia Limited, itata GUC, itata NAWEG, National Water Electricity Company. They are just very useless in this country, and that is deterring the development of this country. Nyem banko titano la nyato, banko mi alonko 97% of the people are claim ko itolmo Muslimot, ila Muslime a fangote correct no le fango balo bala. Gio buka soto. It means ko Gio niya sota scientending in the next hour or so, ibe batunala for maybe 10 good hours before Gio ena. That's why Mol Milia Lonko, they are sitting there with Mr. Adama Barrow. The youth are happy. Wolmaril, they are very hypocritical to this country. And they are disservice to this country. Because Wolmu Molel de Milia Lonko, they have seen the harsh challenges of this country. But they are not telling the president how it is. And the president, by and large, need to know that this country is more difficult today under the Third Republic than any other time. Ya Jamme and Jawara combined. Nyimbanko fuaria mimbejanga sembo warra. Nyimbanko sunyaro mimbejanga sembo warra. Nyimbanko crime rate is in astronomical numbers. They are lying to themselves. They just make press conferences here and there telling you that Gambia la crime rate it's all baloney. Katuko B niya jube nyimbankoka mol mil damma kafa. You want to tell us that you want to buy the intelligence of the Gambian people. Kafo mol yako crime mantara siyarinja. Andita mimfong kawo foite fong yalan na kwebe mimfokam fanyalam. But just to please the President of the Republic of the Gambia, for President wala tamu nyimbankot. Beraman na President yala mo malo nyimbankoka. Anda man sobe a nyimbanko kan katambi mo fangoti you know. So nyullal mu fanketoti nyimbanko ka. Wale hakende Africa as a country banko seita koma fatambitana. Katuko mulu miliyalon ko ibe nyato. Ebuka tonyafo balia wale mnyentiko tolu ya fila ko niye tonyafo mansaye doro itola balu nyanyi wobe seila koma wala be dannale maybe ila palasol nyibe bonde la jil. Ngamiral kalmu muslimol tal ning christianol tonya fo mobe nyantaka balu walla right nganna mol advice walla hani dendingol ke advice walla kana wuliya fo kana tonya fo baliyaf bare at the end of the day wuliya sifa be nyimbanko ka sembo warta bak tinyar sifa be nyimbanko ka sembo warta nakaro membe nyimbanko ka sembo warta. And fanya fola balu ne woltate sita to the president kakuma bal faeko nyimbanko abeta kanku nyimbanko mantara takankuke nyimbanko bila tarreta bila nyimbanko seita koma katambi nun kunun koti ando nyimbanko kunun mimbe kere nyimbanko ka yaja membe minke ka nyimbanko ka nga minkelenu wol kilingol wala be kere nyimbanko ka eko dakanaf mba fola binga fo sama meo membe mari soto la jaye soto je kato ko altolu nyimbanko manka la keta adulati ando ndaysan mol nyanta kasi e karan wala dal nyen ku norin sifa jamal lel keta nyen selective justice jamal lel keta nyimbanko ka bari ya jamme ba ke kan be wurita nko amambetea ando wala mutonyati Mimman betea wo buka kataka betea mu meke fa. But at the end of the day, mo nafiki balu mo norim balu. Milia lonko itolko ya jameka ku noringol minke ku kurungol minke bitol nata si. ibe wo ku sifa le encourage kan abe keka nyim banko ka ntol mu hadama den sifa nyaadi le nkam mira nyaadi le oh okay wata munta ko nga ya jamme konne just because ate bota foni le wala te ngate mu jolale te wala mu minute hani may ya jamme kon just because of foni ngole wala jolale nga konne simply because of he violated human rights and the fundamental value system of the people of this country. Yaya aka mulal fa nyimbanko kan aka mulal sene nyimbanko kan ala effect beringa be mansayala hane bi hane sama ala baramobe modolu bala nga jikile ko wo mu hadamade ya nyanta tinyalete so momo nata nyimbanko kay koy be suman na woku si fala doro amulun ta ko Gambia dingol ntolun te sonna wol ko wol mu ku nori ngolati mi ya lonko nko Gambia dingol nyanta kan kodi wollal bare ndeysaan Gambia mi bala fa banku baati tonya tumaranke yata nyim banko ka molu miliya lonko yaaje be wulle dalibe yelering santo amulunta ko niye subo fay santo na jolonta min da ko no ka da bitila yede tek ntol mum hadama den sifalati amulunta ko ntolu nga Gambia envisage nyami in the next 10 15 20 years kana Gambia be tarla on what kind of trajectory ni dingol so ika mira ko ite bata minke lawo dingolu wol manyanka wo bata nyinke and Gambia is on a wrong direction. Katuko, President of the Republic of the Gambia, is the weakest president within the whole continent of Africa. You do not have to be a strong man kafako ebe mol butelale, ebe molu lipala, ebe molu hadanyela ka kudol kela. You have to be a strong man being respecting the laws of the country. You have to be a strong man ka jubeko banko tamandirinya selective justice kana kenyim banko ka. You have to be a strong man ka jubeko Gambian kola infrastructural development o miya lonko. Ite mo fuarol de ima mo fuari fa fuari barim fuari ite fam mo fuarol ye fuari ya demingo nyini ya lonne. Sa ite nata ke mansati ye fuaro ye nyale kan o fuaro la fuari yanyi amulunta ko ite imanjara ke presidente amulunta ko ite mu president minti ika mimbe kumbo kununko ni nata mketa mansati mbenyimbe bondela amulunta ko ibe Gambia dingol dondi ka wala kono ite mu mosi falet. So wale akende in Africa, especially in this country, the Gambia, molu kasi ka telimbalia fasa ka je ka molu nene ka mola intelligence ka twist ka fo mole ko nyimbanko nyimolbe kondane momo ya jube. There is more destruction in this country than anywhere. Banko mi aron fuar banko le moti je ntol mam fangol man na absol put together ka jube ko the little resources nyink banko e mensoto nga wolta nge safeguard bari nga jele mol fontita ja e ko the so-called stupid and clean the nation or clear the road. Clear the road has changed into destroying the markets. Nenema woje dulalto ni mu fuaro te manyanka kudol taka fuaria lokundi fankunga wol muk fannalte mi ya lonka masila sembo warda an Mr. Adam Barrow nyanta melon na wala mnyente ko aya nyalo central government ku jamal lel be tinyari nyimbanko kan man sakunda kono. All the institutions are failing billah wallahi momo ma wo fo e Mr. Adam Barrow ke nenele because I wrote on the Open Gambia kadulal fo ka fo ko Adam Barrow mul milbe siri bala, they are not the best friends of yours. Walmu molel te milia lonko, they are just eating with you. Bari koma ika mutala komen ko be sole koma la tenten fire funtu na jusot. Bari molu milia lonko, they are critical to you. Ete amutako wolle muila enemy hani la enemy be singo koto the so-called advisors milia lonko manjari advisor ya fangla wai. Ngo banku kendol be nyimbanko ka milia lonko. Mr. Adam Barrow is saying banko sambano, you could have become the best president of this country within the whole of Africa. Ning ayatarete kumakangol mimbe for la hidol mimbe for ibaratala. Bari hani killing imam baral. Nyimbanko ka. What does that make you? 97% of this country ko be mu muslimol bare hani bi nga molje e be sire mo buka diam nyim manke daji ka kendo ting nga jube ko as public official nga nga palasol maranga molu nimbe nyinindiro ke la nga kuma bal falie nga nanga o nyinindiro ke bare nimbulo sita la dorong nga neneke woni tubabolu e tolman kata e man dino soto bare daji ko man e malla fi wasifal hadama de campaign ta minkang yo campaign promise e nyanta ka wole fulfill, you know. Yeah, exactly. So nyimbanko kan ku jamal be jamilialo. So ku jamal be nyimbanko ka be rondin. Andon these are things milialo ko be nyanta kafo. Tonyate mu tonya damalete. Wole akende bi I want to sift the gia to kan yimfani tiolo ke konoto dia. Milmu police solti, paramilitary ani momo mi alon ko be uniform o nyinkon. So, momo be uniform kono ite mari la doku nya. There is what you call the use of force continuum. Momo be doku wala ye karandi wala le kaje ko ni te be la doku wala ye civilian ol soto o civilian ol nying ibe grupo nying ming tala ibe kantala. Ite mari inyata wala mo ite mari nyanta munekela kajube ine wo crowd nyol albe mala nyoy nyadile ayatara imam force use imam ka horomanta yake sakoy se tiaga so fay wala te se paper spray fayika ngalon ne daoda force ma foko the scientific force mantara wodiamula whether you push or you pull mantara wodiamo kan the scientific force mbemendiamo kan the force that we are trying to talk about walem the unnecessary use of energy towards unarmed citizens. Wole mumbe lafita ka wole diamu jam. So nita mu police officer ibela doku wakeka. Maybe, just maybe. An example, gathering ne funtita dulato, mili alonko whether they have a permit or not, lafita kata wall control. The use of force continuum aye karande minna wala mnyentiko Imanyanka jump from level 1 all the way to level 4. It is very unethical, very unprofessional. Kaje ko ites uniform mano nying, ye jump from level 1 all the way to level 4. So technically, the use of force continuum ake karande minna wala mnyentiko. Nin gathering bedulato, whether demonstration la lemba, wala mola milialon ko be protest kamba, wala mola milialon ko they are just making a sit-down strike. Ite borila just like that, yet that person member sit down strike like yet taser faikang, wala te paper spray faikang, that will become very unprofessional. So Gambia police force nyanta min lonna wala mnyente. They should do routine exercises ke la mol karande ke faham diko. Mo mi alonko police officer, among your duties protection of life and property in the country, among other several other functions of the police officer. But at the end of the day, nalbe contact sort of with the citizens of the country. Aliyake kulu kono, aliyake horomo kono, anembunyate because nyulmal balelti, dolmal falelti, andun dolmal baringol lelti. Nalma uniform olong dum, motalon nola kalmo police ole famati. So that use of force continuum, crowd se wara nyao nya. Ite crowd se violent nyao nya. Police officer wala akendi training kumayata bag. Ebe karandila, kajube tebe o crowd, a violent crowd. Ebe contain na nyadi la yatarahani imam paper spray from use. Sakorin ko baton or a taser. Wala mnyentiko, level 1. Ite police officer, ila mere presence in the crowd. Oka kendele crowd nying, hana atare be jarinte ya bakela, ike la jarinte ya nying jindile because ya lonne ko momim bejan womu police olti, and Amari is a power of authority. Oka kendele, hani nin sungol bela sunyaro ke la wala te more after violence ke la police officer la mere presence o ka kendele sungo nyinga e mabo equally mol milialon ko be protest ke kan either peaceful or violent protest wol fanam fango ni be ila protest nyin ke kan police officer la mere presence ala engagement ala comportment and ala professionalism ka wol engage nyamin ka diamu e ka tandie ko hey ndolbe janne man la fika ku jawo ke ala mere presence dorom way hatandile coming ko mo jama bije at the end of the day e la fita ka kukuru jama menke ita kela because ye uniform tiyo jawoto woto ite police officer ite ninta lonna ko ila sembo warata baken and ila presence ibe daoda woka kendele kujaw kelalu ite ye o kujaw nyi ya bay ye na ye kuo ke miya lonko to be law abiding citizen bari ning ayatara wo level 1 yimma work level 2 wala munyenti ko ite police officer miya lonko you are addressing a violent crowd wala tem crowd miya lonko ibe engage kan and that crowd ite fongo ya lonne ko nyulde ibe kamfarenne ibe tajirente yarenne andum e malla fiki moy mumeke wala akendite marika train through all the drills the escalation tactics is a wokenole ebe the escalation okenol you have to issue a verbal command kahatande o molla ko hey this is the police please do not pass that line over there kahatandila ko ntolu we are here we are trying to protect you protect your life and safety mantara jampuru kal tajirante ya you give a verbal command kahatandila ko hey ntolu we are with you we want to make sure that everybody is safe bare ning ayatara mobe ku kolon ke kan modo e femmuta miya lonka se modo mantora is a verbal command di wol more fanansi fala hey you drop that weapon katandiko you are not only there kay tajirante ya bari lafta ka kendile ko let there be peace let them also be safe. But near wo bekela at the end of the day bina jala crowd violent nyao nyai ba jala ko he ntolla nyim police all the whole professional tabake bari oto mbatu nga fijo min soton siso kono mbatu nga wo jindi ba o nyim police abe diamu kan nyamin abe diamu kan ne kuluo with respect and dignity. Because yalo hadamadi near respect and dignity dia marile ya nole. So our police officers should engage themselves into this use of force continuum. Kaje ko crowd man nyanta kataradulato drong ete ya jube ya diate bao ila balo bala you have a baton, you have a pepper spray, you have a taser and you have a gun or tear gas. Ite o jele ila belto baladron ye farau ye doku no bali asambaje instead of dialoguing with the group or protesters or whatever group me along ko beje hanin fang ninga tara wol maril violent ba you can de-escalate them to become very calm wala can the police officer they have various training strategies ikamilke just to make sure that let there be peace. Because their primary responsibility to keep law and order, to prevent life, to protect life and the safety of an individual. Bari, oftentimes in our country, many times, whether Jannembam Fotubabudu, there are some unprofessional knucklehead police officers, especially paramilitary officers or milbe Gambia. That doesn't mean that there are no good people among them. I know people in the service, they are very professional. They are very professional and they comport themselves with the dignity and professionalism. But nonetheless, the people behind them or under them, walkatale ye kuke milia lonka ni lua fauman katanyola. Masilandilo le moti because one police officer na daji kantaya ke dorong amulunta kwa police obele totinya. So it would be best alien techniques all use, ka strategies all use, ka alla call strategize and all do trainings. You know, do level, use that level 2 verbal command. Crowd violent nyao nya niye engage idia muteye. Puruke konoto di akafo eko, hey, yalom, I understand you are frustrated. You know, you are pissed. But luwa lebe nyimbanko kang. Ali luwa nyen noma. Barin tolbe janneto enso your safety. Ka jube altol milbe protest kang. Nga la civil liberty dia. La right lang walti ka protest. Ka la niku ya atande ka jube mimbe kering. Barin tol as law enforcement officers. We are here to make sure that you who is protesting to be safe. And let there be peace. Ntolmil fanambejang as maintaining law and order. We all can be safe. So that at the end of the day, we go back home in one piece. You know? So, level 2 verbal command, niya odi wallay. Ya tandila ko itol bunyatale, itol mo banko dingolati. It doesn't mean ko ni proteste ite mo banko ding kurungalti. No. Oben na constitution of fangolo kono ka atandi ko niya kuje banko ka miya long abekering. You have the right to protest. And the right to protest is fundamental in our constitution. Kaje ko anyanta dilala. Mumanyanka mobile. Tajirante ala munyente ning ayatra mol botajang. Eko ikata pamito le nyiniaje ka stupid excuses all dila. Ka fo eko nte nyindila la tenenten. That's a violation and abuse of office. Because nimol nata pamitol venke, you just provide them with few officers. Atandila ko ha nyimbanko de, it is at a very crucial stage. Mbe pamito dila la bari ning anything go wrong would be on your head. Neo okay, you give them few police officers yete la manifestation okay at a certain time ye boje. Bari kamol bali pamito la unnecessarily just because somebody somewhere is not wanting the people to vent out their anger and dissatisfaction of the government. Wal mukuti miya longko manyanka ke banko kang. Wala moli etangaje janne just recently molu funtita eko the ferry service of the Gambia is not satisfactory. It is not serving the best interest of their people, especially those people milia longko ikata not bank. Etata pamito dile ma dila. Those people just walk and sat at the I-22 itate ye arrest. Wo mu luan tayale to wo mu tajiran tayale and wol mu kulete miya lonko nga wollel kele. Nga wollel je ko itol natale puruka naka falingo kendi nyimbanko ka. Hata madingol la nyanto. Ye bali pamito la. Ye o pamito ye nyaka sala sanye. Wol tate sit down strike nate ye wol be arrest. Anyon doku no bali amangze. In your capacity, whether as an Inspector General of Police or any other rank, you will be held accountable. For Tajirante yale ketabang, for ku noring ole ketamia lonko it went on address abebe kela cheni male bek dunne mare kungol. Because Gambia is about time we hold our leaders accountable. Because we have seen so many other people, not that they are qualified to do the job, just because they are very much connected to Mr. Adama Barrow. At the detriment of so many qualified people in this country. Woka kendila na bankola development aka direle akata komale kato niye moke palaso to miya lonka ma doku no. Aka kendele ko the impact abe minkela wo fanna nyina aka doya bake. Let us look at the example of Mr. Yankuba Dabo of the West Coast region. Within 3 months, 90 days, Sirifo Sonkola Depsol Julul Beta ya Bejo for it. So those are the kinds of leaders we want this country. Because man love a leader whereby you have to be whatever tribe or this, that and that. No. But there are certain appointments nieke nyimbankoka obviously molba jubela critically kajeko ha nying appointment all day. You are appointing these people based on a personal connection with them and based on ila interaction with them wala can the appoint, but it doesn't mean ko will qualify the other ranks of the people million ko be in Bangkok. So wala can the moment ke toilet in Bangkok, and they cannot deceive anybody in this country, and they are not more Gambian than anybody in this country. Ntol bele denta in Bangkok. Tilimbalia de nate keta in Bangkok nga temu tilimbalialet. Regardless of whether botan telebulu wala bota daoda abemu tilimbalialet. And the best thing ka tilimbalia nyendang walem ka kuo diamu, ka kuo kong. Ka tande maralala milbe nyim Bangkok ko ibe nyiminke kang amanyang. Kunungko, aning kunungko bangang nyingkusi falel kele nyim Bangkok. So be nitol beo keka nimmandiamu we are hypocrites. You know? And nafiko siata nyim Bangkok. You know? Molu just they express their views against the reckless statement of Mr. Adama Barrow. They are charging them of sedition. Moja male nene oje nyim Bangkok. Rights will be violated. Hanatarete mari ye o mari konne. At the end of the day, ye o muta batare ale kan. Anu o batare nga o kuole kele nyim Bangkok. So meaning ko ni ite de I complacenta wo kuo nyinkono ebenete fana mutala anoda batare alla sam. This is why it has to be a concerted effort. Ni e momuta lua tinya nyanta tinya naketa momola. You do not have to be friend with the person to defend them. Nyolle mo kuote milben na banko se indikanko. It is derailing our democratic gains. Nga means sort of ko. The Third Republic we would have expected nga cool base sort of right. But nope, this was a mistake. Because Mr. Adama Barrow is an accidental president miala nata. Bangkokam. The needed reform million taka kenyem Bangkokam amanke. Ne water. Police o nenete mo bute la nyem Bangkokam. If we have proper reform and civil service reform, security sector reform, and in the institutional reform solo, the laws in this country all have to be reformed. We need to have a constitution. Mi alonko ay tara nyim Bangkok ngo mo kana na nyim Bangkok ye fan sumang ko ite betar la jele for more than 10 years. Ka to ite man kekendea katambi moti nyim Bangkok wai. Mo manyang kana kote nyim Bangkok mi ala be sumanna ka fate mari be Bangkok marala more than 10 years. Wo mu Gambia la say ko mo lati wai. Wo ka tandile ko coming Gambia mam ke soto nyim Bangkok wale mam musu soto nyim Bangkok minse nyim Bangkok marawai. You do not have to be a member of the United Democratic Party, or you do not have to like the UDP. But in nyanta walem nyentiko term limit we need to have in our constitution. Our constitution 116 million. Adama Barrow nala molu wale fanga ya tenya. How much development can 116 million do? Loptano jelo ase wale lono ase bori jelle natino ninyim Bangkok. Barinde san Gambian kolung manyanka ke toleti mfamfe kajeko at the end of the day that 116 million wo eta fonyo kono nyam. We need to punish Mr. Adama Barrow and his people. Milia Kendi wo 116 million aita fufala toto o nyama wai. Because make no mistake, nyimbanko manke Adama Barrow la keta kundati. Kabira manna nyimbanko kanko amu fuharo leti. A fuariata fata mita modol fangot. At the end of the day, for munem, nga Adama kununko maja janne nga kunun maja na bima. So Mr. Adama Barrow needs to be thankful to the people of the Gambia. Milia kuba yande. At the end of the day, tinyaro mimbebe nyembankoka. Ayatandi mo bela ko Mr. Adama Barrow wo data kuto. Ate bao ala everyday salary $150,000 woka bete ala. So ate date kuto. Amang mo hati, amang kuke, moli se corruption oke. In as long as ibe NPP tanamantareta. In as long as ibe NPP party okono ebe support kan Adama Barrow lebe bala. Ete se lua tinya kute tarlela. Wole be nyimbankoka. And that is selective justice. nga Gambia dingol je nyim banko kan miliyalon ko hana tara uniform menol lem because of ila doku no balia in nakita president ol bala so much so that ila independence and impartiality ya be compromise ngo wala kendi itata Gambia dingol kamma ye nyenenka the draft constitution o alla fita mune taraje iko 2-term limit mo man nyan nale ye fansuma iko sanji more than sanji tang ye tara imbanko Gambia dingol la fita 2-term la way mune ya kendinte wo bulandile la constitution o nyin kono ngadi na dulala banko e trajectory ay direction o soto way bari tinyar lalu molu miliyalon ko nokul head sol la muyti molu miliyalon ko fanjawol le molde mol le miliyalon ko mo kurumba le molde nyim banko ko walla kafuko ha Adam Barrow nyanto sotole I run for that town. That is all bullshit baloney abe fisher wallea kato make no mistake Adam e Gambia jam fale Nia jube ko 2-term limit nitem Adam ma min keno in 10 years abeta wo keno la wati jamale Gambians na security felen na banko kanja amma me bake 197 Nigerian contingent forces wallal dundana nyem banko kay koy kana peacekeeping na. What kind of peace are they keeping in this country? Ntolla amiolu wol katara sirim barak sollelto aya kende bi pour ka dum ami aketa ku kondingoti molu miliya lonko be Gambia banko kan e ma keno because of how low they seem to be in society, how pathetic their life have become under Adam Barrow mfangol la banko kan na amiol manke fen na fenti. Is that the type of third republic nga min nyinin biri ya jame bayin banko ka ya jamme na la kuo benko niaje nga safela nko niaje molka ya jamme nin Gambia Adam Barrow compare. It means ko Adam Barrow is a failed leader leading a failed state in this country. Kato new what a nindoku no baliante den no mote ya jamme nin Adam Barrow la no la wai kato ya jamme woka molle fa o heke wollel sene jang miliya lonko the worst violation in human dignity I walete buloko. Je mol kanete ni wo compare. Alonko ete mimbe maralole mela doku no wai. Molu be billions and billions of money tale ba sunyala nyimbankoka. Kesebuka boje Commission of Inquiry bambaloka kele ni report ol funtite report o kono jube ye la vested interest mol jube aike tukutuk yendem ibuka na kuo moy kotenk. Just because it marry, it male beje, wala a business financier, wala be wo corruption scandal on yinkono. Ye deat. O commission on milk bekalo. Millions and millions of money wala ka invest to pay commissioners. O millions of milk joje, they could have been otherwise diverted into our agriculture, into our health sector, into our education, and other productive base of our economy. But wol bebu kake nyimbanko kan. So at the end of the day, wale akende sunyaro wajabita nyimbanko kan because ya jeleko nindo ya sunya kubu kake wala because Mr. Adam Barrow wo ni ala manyaje dorong chui kong londa singokoto sa domo ate continue casino while the country continue to be perished. Ne wote in this third republic ntajela nyin sunyar bambalol kaki ntajela tribalism kake nyimbankoka nepotism and cronyism akake nyimbankoka molu milia sunyaro ngajele bamba banja miye sunyaro ketendi ya allege just allege bamba banja yo samba yo prosecute and that's the right thing to do at the time. Why not several other people milia lonko be sunyarol bekeka left right and center nyimbankoka. Just because Rohi John Manja wo muy barinding olati ay sunyaro nyi mimbe ketending kodo min tatala account. How can money go and just drop in your account just like that? Ayatare mambo akwokalam. So Rohi John Manjang is complicit in a corruption scandal, and we want the Inspector General of Police I will investigate. Ya jenko, nyine akende nendoku no balianteng. The rules are all defined. Being an Inspector General of Police or anything in this country, ite mari nyanta minkela bebe seneare. You don't need to wait or they seek the permission of the president to probe into something. Mena water, Inspector General la role munity in society, anyantaka minke, among other things. He doesn't need a permission of the president to go after John Manja, to go after so many other people, milialonko a corruption scandal kenyimbankoka. Barendaisan. Nimela do kuono le fanna, you believe that ko ete mari, you just still need to seek the permission of somebody I bless in dila o do kuonyenkon. That will compromise your job as an individual. You know? Allah baraka bake milbe jibe role. But at the end of the day, coming the police, the use of force continuum be mim fokanjang. Ngajele uniform men and women, instead of using level 1, level 2, or level 3, they just jump all the way to the last resort. So coming back for Kanyami, the use of force continuum, level 1 is a marila officer presence damma. Level 2 is a verbal command war protester soul. Nkoi violent nyao nya niye engage ijuso kanyabule ye la dokol fay hana taranin dokole bebuli ye reason with you, to talk with you. Police o nyanta la professionalism exercise la wole nyama. Ka jube to de-escalate somebody me ya lonko ala kamfa be to the roof aya de-escalate fa Maria calm down. That is police job par excellence. You know? But Gambia police o online, it all la tear gas all be able, baton, pepper spray, handcuffs, and then tasers all. It all, just for the fun of it maybe, they just jump the gun from 0 to level 3. And that level 3, well, the use of non-lethal force like a taser or a pepper spray. Or you can use a baton. You know? But just like I said, ni hakilo be balobal. This is why a police officer or a paramilitary officer, it can train. Because before you tase somebody, it can follow the tase ya jubeko a demingo bekeno le balobala nyadi. So that near all a demingo nyilong, it be relate lale to somebody near along me along ko ibenaka a tase sama. Equally, a pepper spray. Janibe more pepper spray la at your training in yanta ke follow the pepper spray nyakono. Ya jube, how distressed, how discomforting that episode is. You know? So at the end of the day, you can ajele ko nyimbe niake from level to level. Ya lonko adimingo ketete balanyame niake mola adimingo bekela wala nya. At the end of the day, maybe you will think twice before you do that. Because make no mistake, some people, if you expose them to a pepper spray, their well-being lies in your hand. You have to comfort them to make sure that they cannot distress, because it or health conditions if lebe o marila. So near pepper spray deploy or a taser or tear gas or deploy, you may have some other people, they have health complications. So it means go, oh Mari said distress I distress na fa tetele afa. Because command responsibility ye karande minna wala mnyentiko. Ite Mari as an officer, ning ayatara ye mota ya handcuff. Oh Mari la protection and ning everything lies in your hand. Ka make so ko ya handcuff nyami. 2 fingers are able to go between atela fenko handcuff or ningala nyinte puru to make sure that there is enough blood circulation at a marila system okam puru akana fa, because notwithstanding ya muta protest minna wo mala fundamental human rights leti bari ala human dignity ala life to existence wo fanang wo ala le adiala, and that is an inalienable right. Mote otano labul. So at the end of the day, nite man yin condition will be met, ye mote ya handcuff indiscriminately like that, whether marry a paper spray, not a handcuff. That distress, that discomfort. Now, Father, the blood is in your hand. This is why police officers need to think outside the box before they do anything stupid. Don't think that those people who are sitting high up there, they tell you, give you illegal orders. Nal tata Birkama area council ali taste ali pepper spray fire wala al gas or fire. You as an individual, you think, have a human compassion and empathy in your job. Kajeko, the people they are telling you to go and pepper spray and tear gas, well, they are dignified citizens of this country. And you as a police officer, your job is to protect life and liberties of the Gambian people. At the end of the day, make no mistake. It at a old taste, indiscriminately violating their rights and liberty and dignity as a human being. At the end of the day, near distress for another far or contenting, you will go for a very long time in a civilized country. Because at the end of the day, these senior police officers will give you illegal orders. But when things goes to the extreme, they throw you under the bus. You have to be on your own. So it's a paramilitary officer. You have to think. You have to have compassion. You have to have empathy. Kajubeko, ete fa bute la daminto imanyankata wande fal bute siloka. E bama ni barinu ni me bute silokan suokon imanyankata modol bute. You need to talk to people. Talk to the people. See every individual who is protesting on the street as a genuine Gambian. Because you're coolaje, me along a man die. And it is very confusing. In this country, you come and sit down, people say, "Nyul milbe protest la nyul mu banko den kurungol." Honey? Ite mimbe o mira ro ke ka ite le mu banko den kurungote because ite mela doku o fangolo. Banko la sarate kango constitution o wale atande ko. Ni man nyafa soto kuto. Banko nyinga. Ise wuli? E protest ke? Wo protest ming ibakela. At the end of the day, ite mari wole be akendila mansakunda ya long ibe mune protest ka. So Gambia dingol, friends of the Gambia, especially those in uniform, the use of force continuum is very clear. Katandiga alnyantaka alla doku o kenyame. Bari tajirante ya doku nobalia ani laziness. Waya kende mo jama buka nyinkuolta ke la dokuol ke anyantaka kenyame. And knowing it is a colossal mistake. It's a violation of liberty and the freedom of the people. Milia alonko alkela rights will violate nyimbankolka. Amanyankake. So, since by use of force continuum diamuka from level 1 being officer present, level 2 giving a verbal command to protesters kajube coming ko ye kuol nyimbulai be minke kang ni mansawola. If you see that koite police officer your life is at risk, that is the time you can use level 4, which is the non-lethal force, which is maybe it's a taser use or it's a paper spray use. Or you can use a tear gas. But if you had used the less restrictive force, ete la mea present and the verbal command ibe mindile la kajube mune akendi tolbe wo alhalo nyento ni engage very properly. Abekela ko etol marilu ila sangaro abedannale ni ela doku no bake. But at the end of the day, we also know certain instances, some of the force may be very justifiable, reasonable, proportionate, and reasonability. Wale akandi, anytime you use force, you have to go and debrief yourself why you use that force. Is that force appropriate? Was it reasonable? Is it proportionate? Coming ko ite ye tear gas or ya fight from the get-go without using any verbal command to engage the people milbe protester. So near okay. At the end of the day, mbajala ko ite mari mela police do ko nyin no. Inyanta ka follow minne labanta walla. You need to engage people. Alkana tiagas or five molkan just like that. Yeah, Abaraka Lamin Yabo. This is it. Doku Nimol Be Akekam. It's very important. Mol Milia Lonko, they have expertise ideas regarding what Doku Nying Wallel Sekufono Je. And police all at the end of the day, ni sita mota lonola jamalem jamati ni uniform odu. Because police will fanam bota corral lel kono. Alie bal lel tuo to alie fal lel tuo corral kono. Ni me ba bute suo kono imanyankata wandi ba bute suo silo kan. So ni o hakili tuol nyenke kaje. Regardless of albe minke kan. Allah command nyeng, you know, you don't need to throw tear gas. Because tear gas ni okay. Woka la akala operational item so like a wallel tala. You know, remember these tear gases, they cost a lot of money. Before you indiscriminately just go and throw it out just merely, echo you hate Yankuba Dabo and West Coast region of a development of Minke Kanje. That's not a reasonable justification to throw those things just like that. Those are violations. And the violation of Niketa Dawda, somebody needs to be held accountable for that. Because remember, it's about time Kajube Nyimolu ke samba kitiola ni human dignity and human rights will violate. Regardless of whether Nyimman Sakunda Bejeba or Sembo Betol ni nya kasala nya meta for meta koto be kitin dilala. Nga police ol jejanne, nga army ol jejanne milia lonko itata si TRL si kumbota foi boral be sinanda. Eko moli ko etolie minke etol ma wo lonno ande nyullal mo uniform tiolte nyullal kanna banko kanta nyullal molti milialon kontol jekita wol mollan ko nyullal sem bondino nyola yen kanju bar nyullal molti mil tajirente yate nyullal ka molu fa nyullal ka modol kungol kuntu foy e baloy boy bala comme ni be sise o kanatela nyami, you know, e ka walla ke hadamado addi TRL si nyullal kumbota e koy faye ko wo manke ku e tol malon ko wallal nyantakake andu wallam uniform mold. And it is no excuse as far as I'm concerned. Mo ni lua tinyadron kulu I like je ndondata republic kono jam wo ku killing wala be repeat kante mol mel be sembo de ajube ko min koy tolla be maralola e mankaran kunun ko bala e mankaran kunun nade bi e be tajirante ala maral jawo anin kukurunke anin corruption and bad practice in our government. Ibe obe ki kanji molu they think life goes as usual without knowing ko they'll come a day me along come bebe sindilan bebe prosecute la nyimbankoka andu Gambia dingol mansula religious leader la andu mansil sula Christian council or Islamic council ya fondi ka fo mole ko alinga nyo balal Gambia be mo killing. Because make no mistake berabe kekam altol Christian council albe muntol religious Islamic council albe muntol so nyulla mu kuote mi alon nakarol be je na religious mol soto mili alon ko ninku kurmol be kekam banko ka ifangol katara sirinje ba je kan abe keka, and they never tell the president the truth, because to them it all miralo be nyene bala wala nyenti ko mobuka mansa soso, which is a misconception. Momo mi alonko aman lua samba nyanta ka samba nyam fo mansalen wala ten citizenolu imarel be to nyanta ka foyenne bari nyinketa disappointment batting and council members also to jamili alonko Supreme Islamic Council mo jelle ka fundi ka to nyal fo moli president wali ka foye ko nyimbe kere amanya. You cannot tell me ko nibe to nya fo la mansayele nyanta ka fo behind closed door nentanga o moy dawda o munafiki aleti. Tonya nanyanta kafo, and people should see you saying that truth on record. Ka jube ko itafana yeda bula nyinku nori ngotole mimbe keka iko mansa iko nyimuku nori ngoleta manyanka ke nyimbangoka. Because Adam Barrow, after all, Adam Barrow is just a citizen just like I am. And just like any other person in the Gambia. But today, Modol, they believe that Adam Barrow can bring the moon. Yeah, coming back for Kanyami. Tonya fo alinga balu tonya la way. Alinkali balu tonya la. Yeah, so this use of force continuum, this is a guideline me along with every officer. Ete marila doku, this should be your friend. Especially paramilitary milbe Gambia Bangkoka. So level 1, etela officer mayor presence. Oba kendela modo be protest dula lafta kuja o kela takela. Level 2, ni ko ebe kuja o minkele iko hey, lafita, this is the police. We do not want you to pass that line over there. Ke engage do ko nyenkono. Level 3, that's the time ning ayatara kolea keta it may de-escalate no. It's in a non-lethal force use, walam paper spray baton, taser, and in tear gas. Ni wo be fenketa, ni wo man fanaman soneano, the last resort, walam level 40, the use of firearm. Anytime you use a firearm, you should have to justify that. Whether it is a force me used to take somebody's life with a gun, is it appropriate? Is it proportionate? And is it reasonable? Appropriateness, reasonability, proportionability, and for kuonying anyanta kakenyami yake wala nyama. Wala can they ask police officers, every action ye minke, it costs the government a lot. Sometimes government can in deployment or minke, it goes in millions. Kaobe avoid walam nyentiko. Let us think outside the box. Nimben na own citizen or engage la. Let us use the human resource ale mindina nda kolomonga diamuye. Let us have human connection with one another. Because nimman diamo manke nyomo yobuka keno. At the end of the day, ni walkete is in a long muna kendal tolbe protest gang, and we as officers bejan ne purukala safety and so could they escalate la to go something like up to a level of vandalism, destruction of private property and public properties. Amanyanka futa olbe. Bari ninku keta anyanta ka kenyami will see falelke. But if government does not have any iota of interest in solving the lives, things that will impact the lives and livelihood of the Gambian people become pissed. And the new worketa, they are only last resort coming ke wala manifestation or tika atandi coming ko we are dissatisfied with what is happening in this country. And nibe workeka mo manyanke mota. You know? And the government should be fair to the citizens of this country. Kaje ko Gambia dingol batatale because bagasol ka san minna nyimbanko kan is just way too much. Nyimman Sakunda created bigger government. Me alonko, they are totally inefficient. They are very redundant. So to me, from an expert point of view, me recommend la wala mnyentiko, they need to do a staff audit. Ka jube ka government na plasolu ka multa ke retrench ke etala, because there are certain institutions mol mil beje tenten, they are overstaffed. It means we are paying them for doing nothing, absolutely. Is that efficiency? You know? There are other things in our markets, the skyrocketing of prices here and there. We see the Senegalese government, Karisaba Commando, what they are able to do, Barrow cannot do in 8 years. Ika leadership lo Mulu Miliyalonko, they know how government works, how the civil service work, and how they need to relate to the needs and aspirations of their people. Well, can you get? But for Mr. Adam Barrow, he has no idea as to how Nyindong will work nyaminte. And the people around him are just making him understand that, oh, okay, everything, the malaiko, the Gambia malaiko. What they are telling him is a lie. And for him, in as long as his salary is okay and his feast money for his family is okay, he doesn't care about what is happening to the Gambian people. Is that the type of leader we want? We need leaders, they can relate to the Gambian people. They can have a human connection with us. They can feel pain, just like a poor person in Fatoto or Komofaba Banta would have to go to the market and feel the pain that someday they would not have food to eat, either morning or nighttime. This is how leaders relate to their people. Because this skyrocketing of these prices in the market today is just too much, is exorbitantly high. How much we spend in this country, you know that Gambia is sick and suffering. So milbe imbankoka wol fatale foi banta fala. Simply because of how hard this country is and how hard life is in this country. Yet still, with all these meager resources, people continue to dip their hand into our natural national coffers to deplete it through corruption. Corruption o mimbe imbanko kasembo what? Corruption or I wrote it. Like it's on Adam Barrow. We can call it a new form of religion called corruptobaro. Because corruption goes on unabated. Because they know if you steal, nothing would happen to you. That's why they need to have a staff audit. Reduce the size of the government. Retrench all these so-called advisor don't be State House or Balatendeka for Pikalolebe Kungokon, because they have no idea why they are even there. We are just paying them for doing nothing. Likewise, our other institutions. So near will retrench, even Ajala, those monies combined, and the amount of money spent on fuel alone, coupon here and there, that is just killing the government, the Gambian taxpayers. Is that how we want to operate as a country? Nyimbanko miya lonko hani paracetamol found tol buka dadano. Hani malaria mbuka na banko buka jarano. Hani fresco wato dolo buka jarano. They just keep misdiagnosing you here and there. All this corruption money could otherwise be diverted into health sectors, ngamulta, research, technology, and all the other things. Advance no demande. But if you are saying it, they term you as a bad citizen of this country. Instead, they are the bad citizen serving us in the capacity of government. Because nyimbanko mobe nyantole soto sartrol soto nyimbanko ka. You cannot tell me because you being a police officer make you a better citizen than anybody. You can't tell me that you being Mr. Adam Barrow, we made you president, that made you to become a better president than a better person than anybody. Mr. Adam Barrow is equally the same as any citizen of this country because we are paying him. We clothe him. He should be thankful to the Gambia for what we did for him. But Ndesan, to prosecute Mr. Adam Barrow is going to be very easy in this country, for lack of not taking action to probe into corruption that is happening in this country. The corruption is going unabated, unchecked in this country. And all the people around Mr. Adama Barrow, this is why there is a division of labor and specialization. There is a reason why 𝒂𝒊𝒏 you are the Minister of Health. There is a reason 𝒂𝒊𝒏 you are the Vice President. If anything goes wrong there, you do not take an action, it would be easy to prosecute you. Because Mr. Adama Barrow, being the President of the Gambia, cannot do all of these things. So it mari mimbe marali wodulala ila palaso nyin corruption o ketaje unchecked. It means when there is a commission of inquiry, it would be very easy to prosecute you as well. But in totality, Mr. Adama Barrow, being the President of the country, for not saying anything, will make him go to Mile 2 Central Prison. Very easy. Very, very easy. Because that is what command responsibility teaches us. As a leader, you are not worth your salt of being there as a president of the country. Equally, you are not worth your salt being the Inspector General of Police. Talking of Inspector General of Police, that's why I would come to say, as an Inspector General of Police in a country, all these men are under you. They are doing violation upon violation, beating people in the country, and nothing comes out of it. At the end of the day, in fact, there are some people who are illegally accused of doing something. They have been languishing in prison for far too long. We expect the country to focus their eyes on those kind of things. Things that matters to the common Gambian people. Kajubeko, let there be justice in the Gambia. But nin justice bekele banko can let it not be selective justice. Just merely I'm close to President Adama Barrow, nala moye problem okay dorong, I just brush it under the carpet. That is selective justice 101. Man la fi woye kenyim banko ka. Ando na keta, hana keta dibole koro, people see it as very crystal clear. Fasari bambalo miya lonko, doe lua tinya iko ya kitin, doe fanaye o lua kilingo tinya, ima kitindi, ima mfenkala. Gambia dingol, we are watching. We know what is right and wrong. You know? So, as an Inspector General of Police, there are so many things that are fundamentally wrong in this country regarding the security of the country. So those things need to be focused on properly. Because whether they favor the government or not, we do not care. The Inspector General of Police need to be somebody who is very tactful, who is very smart, who is very impartial in the dispensation of justice for this country. Therefore, as you being the custodian of the law and order in the Gambia, there are some fundamental responsibilities that you have as an Inspector General of Police. And one among them is to conduct independent and objective audits and investigation relating to programs and operations of the government or private sectors. So biyaringoto, police olu, it all they have so much to do than beating people on the street. They have so much to do than going and tear gassing other people unnecessarily unarmed. So, corruption jaman lebe in Bangkok. The Inspector General of Police, this falls under your purview without even seeking blessing from the President of the Gambia. Kaja Komenko, you investigate, you audit things. There are some people, several other people, milialonko ye audit. But at the end of the day, Walmaril Fembankela, a manta, a may prosecute, Sakorenko is a proper investigation or oponila kuola. As an Inspector General of Police, anytime you hear millions have gone missing or thousands have gone missing, you should have to initiate that. You do not need a permission from the President, because it's your job to go and probe into all these kind of things. Wire fraud, money laundering, and all sort of corruption scandal in government line ministries, government departments and their line ministries, and as well as private sectors. You know? So again, as an Inspector General of Police, we have seen the CEOs who were implicated in billions and millions of Gambian taxpayers squandering them. Senator Martin and others. Momodu Jonga, Suleiman Jeng. These are people, Milia Lonko, they are rotating them, pushing them from one place to another. Instead, they should have been suspended to go and sit at home. These people have misused the state resources, and they have abused their office and authority. And yet still, we think that business goes as usual. If we hear these kind of things, you do not probe into them. Because those things fall under your purview as an Inspector General of Police. It should not be political patronage. You know? So again, as an Inspector General of Police, promoting economy, the efficiency and effectiveness in programs and operations of the government. So, kamolu dundi dulal to milia lonko imang ilao plasol among they are not worth, they are not qualified for it. Those kind of things you probe into them. But it comes to a point that if you do not know about efficiency, you cannot be holding somebody accountable for being efficient as well. You know? And again, as an Inspector General of Police, preventing and detecting fraud, waste, abuse, embezzlement, mismanagement, and corruption. So, whether you see it on social media, you have more men, because near Gambia police force is about 5,000 men, uniformed men and stuff like that. So you have more men to send into those people to investigate more, to know the veracity of that, and come back to the people and inform us. Those are things that matters to the average Gambians of this country than beating us all the time. When there is something, when there is protest, anytime protest kata iko ifayeko, ha banku den kurungon lelbala, atarako yaltol fangol malla dokuono. Because banku dengo protest is enshrined in our constitution. Constitution of fangole ya dandeko, ni nyaman fa kuonyento, you protest. So those in the government think that they are more better Gambian citizens than those who are protesting. This is ridiculous. It all mela dokuno. You know? So again, you look at some of the other things like after doing all of that, recommending action to address systematic weakness and improve agency performance. Na agency solo institution ni tata duladolto. You cannot even believe some of those people have even gone to school, because hanini kaito talia base of a baby correct require transcribe to rewrite it again. They will have a mistake on that thing. So why are they serving in the system? Because they are grossly inefficient. They are not qualified. You know? So nyulbenna institutional fa kanne badia bambalo and interior bambalo, it derail the efficiency and productivity of a viable nation state. Because, make no mistake, I put you in a place where is a diplomatic a graduate nyantakadami mfenke or manna also. So it means that you cannot hold other people accountable because you have no clue as to what you will be doing. You are just a salary taker. So at the end of the day, these are things that is affecting our country. And These are people, they are around Mr. Adam Barrow's so-called advisors. They are just nothing, absolutely. The people like Sehumbalo Emunekaran. Sehumbalo Miyalonko Birimbe Adam Barrow Sindila Ateko, Adam Barrow mu machudolet. Machudo in Fula Walla mu Jongoti. Ningu nata New York atebe protest kela be walla mu the best supporters of Mr. Adam Barrow. How convenient and how deceptive. You know? Anafiki asembo watafata mbitananil. So Gambia has so many behavior problems in this country. And there are a lot of things that need fixing in this country. But at the end of the day, but of course we know how to do it, but we do not have the spine, the willingness to purukake. Because Momi Alonko is not right for the job, it's just fire them, retrench them, or try to create a place at Jahali Pachar. Some of these people can go and work there for labor for the country, for the production of rice for the country, so that we can become a rice producing nation in the Gambia. Because the offices they are manning, they are not efficient, they are not worth their salt in being there. This is why ni tata dao the illegal order dealer they would have to execute it, because to them they think that if they don't do it, they are losing their job because they have low self-esteem in themselves. So at the end of the day, the Inspector General has a lot of responsibilities. Melia Alonko, he needs to be apolitical. He should not be taking orders from the president just because, I'm the president's brother-in-law. No. You should be doing your job according to the responsibility, your term of reference. You know, you should be very objective. You should be very impartial in doing your job in this country. No selective justice. But oftentimes we see this is never the case. And Gambian people are watching very closely. You know? It becomes a disappointment to see that some of these things are happening. You know? And we need to make sure that those people are, the people who are doing corruption in this country to be prosecuted. They need to be prosecuted. You know? So, contract fraud, milbenyim banko ka siata fatambita. So Inspector General of Police would be focusing his men, prioritizing things ke nyata ndiwola. Ka foye ko ye all investigate, grant, fraud. Na jele COVID-19 na kodol milbe nata. In all be sunyata Minister of Health. Just because of Amadou Samate has a vested interest and closeness with the president, nothing happens to him. If he were a decent person, he would have resigned. But no. Africans, they can pray the whole day 5 times a day and become very much, they become sinners every minute and second in this country. You know? Anytime the employee misconduct, Inspector General should open a file, can make so called let them be prosecuted, because that goes against the value and the principles of police job. But akakele bang hani abukake. And let me make it very clear. The office of the Inspector General of Police is a continuity. Whether Bile ye appoint to become Inspector General of Police, cases will milbeje for far too long. It is your responsibility to go over everything, and it is people's right to ask you to make sure that those things are not repeated in this country. You know? Too many financial frauds in this. Investigating multi-million-dollar bank frauds scheme. Look at our Central Bank of the Gambia. Fraud mimbeka kejetente. So at the end of the day, it is only the taxpayers who become the victims of all of this. Because akana fuaria ka lokundi bankokan. This is why We just have to be very careful. Africa to develop nola ning ayatara mam mol soto milia lonko. They have very good courage and zeal to transform these countries to become a viable nation state. But in a mol soto je milia lonko, nene buka dasa ma kendo fango soto walate nene buka kurru kendo fango soto yo lena man sakunda mara wolka mutala komin ko itol nene man ke fuarot andu itol le mu fuari dim bal fangolti. You know? So these are things milia lonko aben na bankol batandika. Ando wolmu kulati miya lonko akoleata bakele. Akoleata bakele. Wolmu ku kolati. So banko mbekela tonya folalati wala tenga ke fania folati. Nyen kol bebe lare mfangol singol kot.
Assalamu alaikum.
Everyone
Eza inimba man. Guy, thank you for speaking up. Always, man. Thank you for speaking up. But even told from la area le maka. Ya ngani le be nga security ya le Gambia.
Right.
Dok wala ke je ala ndema nga dok wala ke je fo nga bang, you know. Namana mbula ku kono je, namana ku ke je me lonko isabo anin silo manta.
Right.
So yeah, even come for Ganja akumata back because bibi lala même inspector general yala police. Ita la kebalem, ita la kebalem. Lunda na ate be ate ture kundanko dinta msanya kundanko.
Moman nakiala
menta. Moman nakala menta mi konlo. I long nga long. Bari nsa kono dia. Nsa kono dia ngani mfaye ko. You know, mbebi kono sama mina. Sidu, mbebi kono sama mina. Kana song adama baro use, you know, fudo kadia fudo kakuya na albari musol de fudo bar silisa mo fudo fa de kuyano bi adama baro de president ya silisa mo kudo sikeno sidu lenyum fole ko, you know, be it inspector general of police, the Gambia police lua tamandi banko kan ko men ka keje ngam kele kunu ya jambe jamano kana son sidu wole ke kotai hani yankuba la nyi fenko men ka janne fenko wo Allah o gayo men kata mo la blal boy kam mo la marché ol boy kata du mo la marché kam mo la marché ol boy, you know.
Wallahi
yankuba have the courage because ya kele carte o fayatele more 70 something thousand ya carte o fay mo mey, you know. Ita ni air conditioner ko lu ni kana ka boy lo mol ka lu kana ka boy lo mol ka eta wala ngani ko jalla no bembe campaign o kala yankuba ko hani biri Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam a jamano, you know. Nga hani Muhammad jamano wotumo ala ni saybe bal, you know, wonde kam mol fenke inspire me hana be imam fengo ni soro college ni soro ni wolje ika inspire so ngoy ko ana karde o fa yankuba nde wala jako ndu wolo lume nga yankuba ja kuma tan ta sira e condition kono kany mboyo ja kana akanya bin na musol kam marjo no wolo nyaajo bo tan nga mbulo sikale ngadi yankuba la potenge nga yankuba I respect you jabo bila andu yankuba nga campaign o menke ma regret nga mem fo mo ya wala sindida wolo yankuba ngata ko ita sira e condition kono ni dem fala mi gambe confront la yam fa ni fa gambe la mbeku no be dia ndu wala tonya. So wolu la usamo inspector general of police findida mole bulo ko say sidu tu ndata bulo ko sile wodu ndata bulo ko sile men na wolu la menu ta de yo gaso fay dan the day before lumete mina kabona mbanyul kala menu ta de gaso fay na wolu usamo inata le yekay to save yo bi ko ali de pare ngaje yebe boy wodi yebe discipline action ta yebe saga civil ndoke
wallahi
esa ali nga tonya bo banko min de tonya fola o banko nya bu abe tinyala o banko tinyala fan ali nga tonya ba de tonya ka ali nga balu tonya ka wolu la mo ma nya na bloco de la civil nyanta menka menni o tilimba ya to musol laje ka gaso fay ke amano fanka mo ne ma bun kidola nyanta bunna kidola dunia le nyaade sidu ndolbe to nyaale fole dunia la nyaade tile sidu ture ndati ya mo de sidu dunia la nyaade ibidan nan cewto futo ka biya futo ko biya ini na futo si bannole sama na boda man sal wallahi ina ra futo si bannole be di wala wuro banko kan sidu toure ndela ka jamu ndetto mi Ibrahima Sanj Breso ma ko suude ko immigration
yeah suute bali come on
bi sida
come on
bi ndemi ko sama mina ni ma ka
asahani
de wala wuro banko kan sidu ndemu sanya kunna ko ide tura kunna ko ye diwol wuro banko ko diwol sikeno president ko diwol sikeno solofel kana so moye du kudo sine sama sidu nto ne ye ika loto nyale kan loto nyale kan sidu me wala me
wallahi wallahi
ni adama bar wala na ta kunga moli bondino ika loto nyale kan doli ni wollo doli ni wollo italen dol tilen
yeah
na pasi na
yeah
ni yake bara gele na kenje letere tilen ikana je kan karandi ikan men fone wala loto nya kan hanni be fala so sidu mo be ko loto nya kan bo inte tonya ko la nyoya ali nga Gambia nga mu mo betuje nga ko betuje nga betu adama ba bulu ko betu
Ibrahima baraka bake stay on yenye memfo wala mo toñaade katu momi ya lon ko ina e dow kuwo ke ay karandi dow kuwo la ko e balu toñale ye toñake ye toña fasa dawoda ni nata yewo marije abe kuke kan naka sudu nonu min ya lon ka nen toña mamulon woto ite karandi ngo ayete min karandi woto nya fola akoy balu toñala yeke mo telinde ngote no selective justice nyim bankoka ete a jari tale ni wo mari ye wuli ya faye ko komin ko selective justice wala be nyim bankoka andong illa maralole kotom andu wo manyanka ke ye dami ma ka to ye dami ma komi yankuba dabo wolu wo mu bala fale te yenye mem for that so that been the best thing molu meli alon ko e tiaga so te ya deploy wolka ni e video jube it is very clear wol mankuke kiamano fundita ne ba bunna tiaga so fu police ol fangle ya mote ya donde wo mu rebellion balati wol mu kuti wallal ka bankol donde nyoka wala akandi yenyi memfo ka fa ko ite bulo ko silae because mo ni ela dokuo ke ela dokuo manyanka bulo ko se fo ne ngafo e ko jarama wati dol. But at the end of the day, police only minke wodulato. E nyanta min follow kala je labanta ka wala. Negotiation. Negotiation.
Allo menke da fango esa. Nte balante malla fi da men fango ente fenge. You know? Men ni woke. Ni wodu mole. Ya ka identification pare le. But say ndol benta jama ne fe. Ni inter fenge jamano video le kata. So when I see the more ko ato baby da civil hanna ranga ko ame by service okono but service on discipline le be to service o ke esa ali na to nyafo
exactly yeah some
Ibrahima Sanyan esa ABC Muhammad Lamin Fadu Cham
whatever
ye be la bu ko some be da police training school
confinement about
ko ye be ko nge jam ko muna na be do faade
amanyam sanyang
ika force member inyata force me use le nyata ndo yo ikarati obela wala ma wo fo e wo tin fa tandi o tres fa teje so kuna ne gazo fa ko so video le yo ke o e duale tinya so ke silu nyanta kala wo samo nyanta wol be sambala yo ke ye police wo samo nana
exactly
address ko tembo fi budo ko sa fa sidu yengi ne contrôler yen karande nyina la nyina si usabo mole ko ndo be na la jamba bula mole na même pas le ko yeni mega ajibi nyina sidu nyina ton karan ay karande nyina ay sidu mo ga daga ko ba nyina kana akara fenko nyina men ka mole ke wono na randa
exactly
mole budo ko sa bante ko sa because anyanta men kala wo mole na men yo gazo ba na yo ba da gazo de faila ko
exactly so exactly ikanye memfo hani bi amantambi because walla faces all baby social media e nyanta nko is about time police official milka nyin tajirante yake anin kulubaliya bambalo katula tiaga sol faila molu kan ka molla health condition wajabindi ke kulu ka kulu lai kan sidi hani bi hani sama nyanta kabula nyin molno because yankuba da makes no mistake Yankuba Dabo is a citizen, and I be minke ka nyindulata mantara ke kampatie. Bile famala darajo warata bile famala sembo warata because of I kata ala katakuo I minke West Coast region. You know, nim Adam baro lafta ka kewo nyama e kata kuoke in the central government ay do kuoke mi ya lonko moli nyanta kaje bari kuma kalantam fo anin cool mi ya lonko ata nyanta ka wolka meke at the end of the day te amira jama ibe jamala sabo momi ya lonko abe do kuoke kan aba la life impact kan anin momi ya lon gar walle abal nen kan abal doyandi kan ka fali ko altol mun nyen limbe kata kuoke kan limbe wala fasala yan kuba be
esa mela kuma kundu woto fana bari o banko fa nafika ya fango nafika ya membe o banko ka wo banko mo nyom mo banko mo doli be o nyom nafiko ni mo service iko esa banko be tele kato fa itele ko eta wo mo ka ne ka boy la mo ka ne ka boy la mo ka manke tinda manke fula manke sabat o hani sali wato kon inatela wo mo li ko boy le ka i wulte ka kala jam ko denke modol kana foko ha ensa over the actual inyale to nyale no obanko ola na obanko fa matita obanko no modo
atita no la nyato
ya ila ila
Asembo waratale because here is the thing Yankuba Dabo acted within his powers and he acted within his limit ngo nyul mama tanten Gambia
exactly
you know nyulu Gambia manke ture kunda te sako baro kunda ye mona kende wati be sembo jaile ba boyla Yankuba kan Christian Council be siri Islamic Council be siri mo malla fika to nya fo be mo bulila bare ni wotata be akkan e koy fay ha overreact la nyon na fika wulu buke ya te kere nyimba koka at the end of the day imagine ni manyen ko dafa nun kula bina kala mi ala be wajabila and that's the right thing follow ndol malla fi fitina la nyembanko kan dol sulata doku lalella modu milia lonko be doku kala ibe na agriculture improve la ibe na healthcare improve la ibe gambela dulal improve la fo ndol fananga ke bankute mi ya lonko nsem fan nono bari wo bukake nyokele bambalo ni lafita moli e fasa moli la fila do ku ke mo be aje ite fan advertise la radio to ila do ku wole be wa fila bari nyoli jay dole samba Yankuba kam fa tambita nane la nyom tarde te kere banko mi ya lonko ala afanka ma ya tele fuari ata mainline Africa be kon ye walla silo ko sila dada ambe silo lel expand la e kata dum marté ko ne ka walla dulal be tay be fenkla no anyum fuari ya siando te kerin dulato and wo mane nye mimba ke kan ata ko kula because at the end of the day ye musollel batandi wo musolu walla le mo jamal la school fees ol jo nyimman sakunda do kula ko fo bi
lumbina be don na la julola ate bayla mu iba wala ngani fo ejal moyo lumbina be don na la julola la ilaha illallah muhammad rasulullah nga ya jambe jeje nga ya jambe jeje and esa lundo nga je program do fananke about the Islamic conference ni enta nyinin ka wo Islamic conference ni of la felnya fama and down manyinya yen nyinin ka ko me ati nan ko Islamic conference o nyim selta
you go ahead
Islamic conference on ton security to le security do ko le so ni media mula na akili ni so security ko men don do la ko so Islamic conference on ni aje wo banko wo mol manna wa pesa o mol fina banko me ya lonko ila ika mol men ki ita represent banko doka wo banko mol wo banko mol comme yewol reject people like ila boyo ka do mem mala be mem ni seda menno Yankuba seda menno ili ajibe dunia bebe siri be muna mol
sirifo songo
ili amira Gambia fa dunia mol fa nyale madama ite wolu yewol reject we ko men beke o blato je ite kana iko ki dula me alongo woni nyanta tala woto kabanko ni sanitize kabanko ni nyayi matande ite ko kiwo so ya espeko kimbe bolna la blato le kana o so benta ya banko kando mo la esa
exactly
America ja ngaje men kana ja you know na menu nyanta na la banko nyayi matande je na ta je banko nya kurumba tande tusu banko
yeah by
musa wol be nyanta tala mai tu le osamu you know
exactly
ko tu wala bomin dole ngaje dol fanantara je woli ko ke do men sembo warta ni Africa banko kanje you know Allah gayo ni imagine member Allah busumbala ma fa Allah la me ma fa
oh c'est
kubalem jaju
yo yalla won fana ku dole fana ndo fana so ide islamic sem wonbe mu na international relation
yeah, negative side
security commental as security men ni site ko moy won dol jibe ide amira mo sobe wonbe bol nan dula tole kana o banko kamba
no
ana analyze woni am ba esa yajibe mo sobe ya mo sobe wonbe bol na o banko kana o banko kam banko me alonko ramol menu ñewuntele ko le kiatol la international blal to tari
exactly
ndel teka de o direction andu ni na security la sidu you know sidu ndol le bro ko ke ko ila dinne on le kadiam e do nya bala o banko security treatment do banko ka na koto ke
atambita nane
na koto ke kana akaka kuma aka ji mondo dun dol Gambia di on le bula te amiran tol mu tole wol
it's a disappointment
information minister te amiran tol mu tole wol le dun tol man dunia ko lo ite kuma ro maja ite ko nya bala tol nya bala ite ko Gambia security le do tol nya bala luwolo hanila dinne on yaki sungudne on yaki buka comfortable ne fo janna be murana
wallahi
tole ha security sector o banko ka you know ite masa kewl wol bina o banko kanne bank edi woltana esa aninde ni pen do be furi nyame jannin kata Gambia certain things will beje fo ngani ka ro kewl bi on dole security ya you know bibi la anila wa ko beje so ko na je ka faile no ika ko dole sofi comme ika hana ta kala ika ko dole ke fan kantan ika understand
right
as commentor if you are security concern so they are almost like a value wol mi na banko kan tete ma ho tara bla so be fa lo ndi woli e kan wol mi na banko kan ba you know tina o banko kan so ite kan ka ko salam kumol fo moli kina bisa wala na Senegal la wala na ndo se credit tawol wala ya lo ko hanim be kase bo la ni invite by the right nyanda nala ni fana be kase bo la ni invite by the right nyanda tala ko wala ni wala ko ni wala be ko le bani be di wona ko you know so e dim bo fana boy alni e won yene la mo aba ko la mo la fi jinda ba la fi france so yaro la banko ka please ala fa fana ina la so yaro bonni na banko ka
no what Ibrahima Mela kuma kunto these are very important things Kamil mentioned jang and the Senegalese authorities will be a more bondila jangate mela bake. It's just for diplomacy because near Gambia Jube Ntolo I believe we need to own our own destiny. Nam ami olubi wollel doyata mo beti Gambia banko kanja and wo fang damma is a security threat in this country kaje ko nyim forces dol million ko nata iben na banko kan dolla ami wol mul lodo lalel di damelalu anen domor dada lalu barakol to buka fenke e ka sijele fo fitiro isi ye na murunja ngamera among the reasons me alon ko ya jamme ko ate bankota because the Nigerian forces all mil nata nyim bankokan wol kanyin nin neketende wo dissatisfaction wole akendi itolye uprising ke and